Hi, I took part in the booktubeathon and I read some books, so I thought I'd do a video about all the books that I read during the booktubeathon. The first book I read on the Monday was Joan of Arc and Her Marching Orders by Philip Robbins, and it's just a short non-fiction story about Joan of Arc and who she was and what she did. And I read this book to complete the challenge of read a book from a genre you have read the least of this year. And for me, that was non-fiction. I started and finished reading that on day one, and then I started the next book, which was The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I got 30 pages into it on the Monday, and I read it for the challenge start and finish a series. I did not read the entire Hunger Games trilogy, so I did not complete that challenge. After the Hunger Games, I didn't want to go straight into Catching Fire, so I read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I loved this book. I read it for the challenge of a book that someone else picked out for you, because I gave my mum a pile of 5 books and she chose this one after reading all the blurbs a couple of times. And I'm really glad she did, because now it's like one of my ultimate favourite books, because it's so lovely and beautiful and poetic and just generally perfect. After I finished We Were Liars, I decided to go into Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I have the entire series in that special edition of books. First one gold, second one shiny red, and the last one is like a silvery blue colour. And I did complete the second book before the week ended, but I really don't like Katniss, and everyone else seems to love her, but I just find her really irritating. And I don't really like The Hunger Games. Catching Fire was also for the challenge of read a book with red on the cover. I did try to pick up the last book, Mockingjay, and I got 5 pages into it and I was like, no, definitely not. But I did pick up the last book that I actually got to finish during the week of the booktubeathon was a graphic novel for Doctor Who. It was like the collected comics from the Doctor Who magazine in Doctor Who Chains of Olympus, and I didn't really like the art in it because it just didn't look like the characters, even though the cover is kind of misleading because it looks like them. But the inside and the cover were done by different artists. But I did like the stories. There were 3 different stories in it and I did like them. They were cool. Chains of Olympus was also counted for the challenge of reader books with pictures in it. After going through all my books and just thinking that I didn't want to read any of them, I did pick up Jane Austen Stole My Boyfriend by Cora Harrison. It's a sequel to a book, Jane Austen is My Best Friend, and I had a phase of just being obsessed with Jane Austen, and I got 60 pages into that before it struck midnight and I freaked out. And that didn't complete any challenge at all. Catching Fire also counted for the challenge of read a book to movie adaptation, because I read the book, then I watched the movie with my family while on the internet because I've already seen it. I did not complete the challenge of read 300 pages a day and read 7 books in the booktubeathon, and I really thought I could do it, but like 300 pages is a lot. I didn't realise how much it was. I managed to read like 230 each day, which isn't too bad, and I read a total of over 1,000 pages, which is pretty good. And like before the booktubeathon, the most I had read in a week was The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which was like a really tiny book, but I did get a lot of reading done, so that's good. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back for more videos.